Journaling is one of my favorite activities. It saved my life at times when I needed it the most. When I need clarity and wisdom, I gently open my journal and I begin to write. The magic of this act opens my heart and brings me clarity in a way I find hard to describe. Sometimes the mind can be very restless and desperately tries to find solutions. And in its seek, it gets lost in the many points of view it finds. I realized there are infinite ways to look at things, infinite perspectives that can seem valid at the time the mind envisions them, but there is only one action at a time that we can take. When I journal, things slow down, the mind gets slower and clarity is able to shine forth. From the many perspectives and possible solutions it finds, when I write, the mind finds coherence and adequacy. To my surprise, the answer I'm looking for comes when there is stillness, when the mind dissolves and the voice of consciousness speaks to me in the serene silence of thoughts. From this vast silence, the answer emerges through and delights me with the joy of having found a wise solution. Flowers inspire me, and I like to have them near me when I write, along with a good cup of tea. And when in season, lilac tea is one of the best teas. I discovered the calming power of journaling when I lived in the Zen Temple. In the silence of the temple, journaling helped me to reveal who I truly am and to listen to my inner, authentic voice much more clearly. Even now, I feel it to be a form of dialogue with my true self that first listened to me carefully, and then, after I said all I had to say, or sometimes even in the midst of writing, when I least expected, it blesses me with the gift of peace and clarity. The word clarity comes from the Latin clarus, which means clear, bright, luminous. Clarus has the same linguistic origin with the ancient Greek kaleo, meaning to call or to summon. I love this word because it has both a visual and a sound element in it. Clarity is a different kind of calling, one louder than all the noise of the mind, one that brings light to the sometimes chaotic and murky mind. It's the voice of consciousness that invites listening and illuminates with a deep understanding. I see journaling as a spiritual exercise, where awareness is called to illuminate me, not with the clarity of the mind, but with the clarity of being, one that arises out of understanding deeply with all my being. This beautiful and powerful meaning of the word clarity was revealed to me by my phenomenology teacher when I was studying philosophy, to whom I am eternally grateful. I'm curious, what is your experience of journaling? Have you ever used writing in order to discover who you truly are, or to find an answer to something that worried you, or just to get another perspective about a situation? Perhaps my way of journaling is less traditional because I don't record the happenings in my life, and I often write in nature. I also don't journal every day. I like to see my journal as an open space where I can express my thoughts and feelings freely without seeing it as a technique. I write whenever I feel like doing so, to explore who I am, to investigate the nature of reality, or to find inner guidance when I face a new challenge. So I write in an inquisitive way that invites introspection, reasoning, and sincerity. I see it as a place where I can discover, think, feel, expand, and dream. By doing this, I feel that I'm diving into the mysteries of being, where I choose a particular way it is expressed, and by doing so, it reveals its secrets to me, showing itself just as it is, in all its splendors. So if you would like to journal, I recommend writing in a way that allows you to find out more in-depth things about you, or about something that concerns you, or simply to put your happiness into words. Journal to awake truth and clarity, more as a side effect of your sincerity and openness to write and inquire, rather than as a goal. And truth will inevitably follow. Journaling in nature helps me even more to recognize the peace that already lies in me. It awakens a deep sense of presence and awareness, and helps me to see that I am no different from the trees, the flowers, the river, or the earth that nourishes so many forms of life. Experiencing this, sometimes my journaling takes the shape of poetry, and a great sense of joy floods my body with tingling sensations that resemble to the touch of butterflies when they dance in the sun from flower to flower, touching them with their little fragile legs. I try to transpose this feeling of joy into poetry so that others can experience the same or even a greater joy. I do my very best to use words and metaphors that awake this experience. By sharing my poem with you, I hope to awaken you happiness and peace. Here is the poem I wrote. The sun's light transformed my skin today. It now looks to be embellished with tiny pieces of gold. If you look carefully, you see that this is the sun's gift to all of us. Look closely to the green leaf, to the flower that crosses your path, to the river that mirrors it so beautifully. open to your gaze and see that all sparkle a golden presence to remind us that our nature is divine, that it comes from beyond, as we are the only beings that can be elevated by seeing beauty. In the face of beauty, we transcend the mind, the body, the world, and we become beauty itself. We recognize our divinity and rejoice in its eternal bliss. Hope to see you next week. Sending my love.